Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2017 Ford Escape Titanium. Let's take a look. There's the Ford Escape Titanium Edition. This one is loaded, so a Ford Escape starts at around 24 grand Canadian. This one's about 41. And it's pretty much, well, it does have everything that the Escape offers. All-wheel drive, 2-liter turbo engine, 6-speed automatic transmission, dual-zone climate control, blind spot detection, lane departure warning, radar cruise control, leather seats, panoramic sunroof, Sony stereo system, navigation, yeah, everything, basically. It's not a bad looking vehicle. It's got a tow package as well. I guess I didn't mention that. Backup camera, self-parking. Yeah, so it has everything. And it even has, as I come around the back, I'll show you. It has the kick trunk opening feature. There we go. Let's open up the trunk. Let's take a look inside here. It's even got winter mats and that stuff, which was thrown in. It's fairly large size. Forget now, I looked it up. I think it was about just under 2,000 liters of space with the seats folded down. So there you go. There's your spare tire and some more cubby holes and kind of stuff, the places to put things. You've got a tonneau cover here, a cargo cover. Put that on there. Kind of fiddly like they all are, but it does work. 60-40 split with the 60 on the driver's side. And there is a 12-volt plug here as well. And there is some hooks and stuff, and we've got the speakers in here. Somewhat annoyingly, you can't flip the seats from the back though, so you have to come over to the side here and pull this handle. Well, there you go. See, somewhat annoyingly, flip the headrest down, pull this down to get that flat. And you do have a flat floor with a flap here to protect stuff from falling in there. So that is nice. And the seats are nice leather. They look nice. And there's the panoramic sunroof up top. In the back, each seat does these backs. The backs of the front seats have mat pockets, and they're sculpted out to give you more legroom because it's kind of tight for a crossover SUV. This is really tight. Like I'm not very tall, and I barely have any room. But the good thing, they do sculpt these out, and your feet do fit underneath. So you've got room for your feet. You just can't really stretch out too much. Power windows, speakers. It's kind of plain. You've got a cup holder in the door, and you've got you do have a household 150 watt, 110 volt outlet down there, and some heating vents, and you've got a couple cup holders in the armrest as well. And I like to give that view of the front dash from here. And again, that panoramic sunroof up top. Front here of the Escape, you've got all the features that you kind of expect at 40 grand. You got a dual zone automatic climate control here. It is, as I mentioned, an automatic 6-speed automatic transmission. You've got a electronic parking brake, couple cup holders, a little cubby hole here, USB, and a 12-volt power supply. In the middle armrest here, it's a dual layer, so you've got your single layer. You can kind of fit your phone in here or whatever, small, like maybe some receipts or something like that. And I think that might be a change holder or something, not quite sure, or pencil holder maybe. And then the second level, you've got a deeper storage bin here, and you've got a USB and another 12-volt plug in there. The ergonomics here, probably not the best because you can't see the corner of this screen. You see how this kind of juts out here? Then, I mean, you can kind of see it. And the taller you are, the more you'll see it. So the further back I go, I think the camera's better than my eyes in width-wise. The further back you go, the easier it is to see it. But I'm a little bit shorter, so when I come up close, like getting this corner button, I mean, I can see it, but from my driving position over here, it is covered a bit. Yeah, so this is Ford's system. It used to be Microsoft Sync, and now it's just Sync. It is super bright, really easy to read, and it's pretty quick. You know, you've got some presets here for your radio. You can go to navigation. As you can see, though, it's kind of hard to hit those buttons, right? Like, you got to kind of curve over this and you get into there. It's not, I think it'd be better if the buttons were on top. Then they'd be easier to reach. And as you just saw, it disappears once you press it. Like, these controls kind of go away after a second or so. And so you can zoom in onto the map and that, and it is pretty responsive. You got, you know, your phone, of course. I don't have my phone in here. I just don't add it. So, and there you go. So you swipe back and forth. It's pretty fast and very responsive. And there's a whole bunch of things in here. Vehicle settings. So you got your camera settings, which will show your parking lines and that on the camera. And there's Wi-Fi in here, so you can connect to Wi-Fi and create a Wi-Fi. No, maybe you can't create a Wi-Fi. You can only connect to one. Not sure, actually, I haven't checked that. And then ambient lighting. So there's all these cool colors you can change. You can change the ambient light, you know, to blue, purple, whatever your favorite color is. Not quite sure why those. There it goes. I don't know why it wasn't going. And that also changes the cup holders. There's lights in the cup holders here, so it changes those things as well. In the center dash here, it's laid out pretty good. You've got your speedometer on the right, your tach on the left, and your fuel and temperatures right in the center. And then you've got that color display in the middle, which will show you a bunch of information, your speed, your trip, an average fuel economy, things like that. And you can switch through these different settings. So this is the trip one information. There's more information as well. This vehicle does have auto start stop. And yeah, so driver alert. So there's a system in here that kind of monitors your driving and your attentiveness. You know, if you're weaving off the road, slowing down too much, kind of things like that. It will alert you, and it'll tell you if you've driven too long that you should probably take a break. It shows you your four-wheel drive, like what, you know, how it's performing. It does have the Ford Mikey settings as well. And there's a bunch of settings in here. You know, you can turn things on and off and that. So there is a lot of stuff in there. And it's, you know, it's essential information that you'd want while you're driving, especially the trip stuff. I'm averaging 9.9 liters per 100 kilometers now, about a half tank of fuel. It's not so great for a small compact SUV, I think. It could be a little bit better. But it's not horrible, I suppose. This is a 2-liter turbo engine. I believe it's 240 some horsepower. So it does have some good pep to it, so that is nice. On the steering wheel, you've got your volume controls here, as well as your talking control for the voice-activated systems. And, of course, those buttons that I was using for these on-screen. And then you got your cruise control settings here. And the cruise control, you have a distance settings because this does have the radar-guided cruise, which will keep you your distance from a car. Over on the left, you've got your headlights and fog lights and your trunk release and the dimmer as well. And you also have settings here for the lane departure warning on the end of the stalk for the signal light. And then, of course, your signal lights and high beams on there, and your windshield wipers on the right-hand side, as well as the rear windshield wiper on there, which is kind of a little dinky thing for the windshield wiper in the rear, but it works. Up top, you've got the sunshade button here and the moonroof button. So it is panoramic moonroof and one-touch operation on the close for that. And I guess it's one touch to halfway and then another touch, and it's the same for the open. It's one touch and then another touch to get it all the way back. Up here on the sun visor, you do have your home link for your garage doors, up to 3 garage doors as well. And there is a light on the mirrors for that, and you've got a sunglasses holder, which is quite small actually. It's not very deep and it feels kind of flimsy. Yeah, so that's the interior. You've got some shiny kind of grayish black trim here, and this is all rubbery, which is nice. It feels well put together. It feels okay. It's a little bit plasticky here. It kind of looks like cheapy kind of plastic here, and this kind of is cheap plastic. Especially, not so bad at the starting price of 24 grand, but at 40 grand, this is a little bit cheap feeling to me. Also, underneath the climate control settings, we've got a heated steering wheel. Of course, it does have the 3-way heated seats for both driver and passenger. This is the button to turn the auto start on and off. There's the parking sensors on and off. There's traction control off, and there's the self-parking as well. Okay, I'm going to drive forward, and I'm going to hope that it's going to find that there's a parking space beside this SUV. Spot found, it says. Drive forward. Okay. Stop. Release steering wheel, shift to reverse. Okay, cool. Now I just released the brake and it's going. And I'm adjusting the brake as this goes. You know what, honestly, I could have done a better job. Stop, shift to drive, drive forward, all right? Okay, shift to reverse. Give it a little bit of gas, because it's uphill a little bit, I guess. Ta-da! I'm in my spot. All right, that was kind of cool, although I think I probably could have done it just as fast by myself. Now, the first thing I'm going to mention here is the auto start stop. So I'm currently stopped at a light, well, at a stop sign, and the engine's shut off. So just make sure nobody's coming, and as soon as I lift off the brake, the engine starts up and I can get going. It really does pick up fast. This is pretty quick. For a compact SUV, that 2-liter turbo really pulls it. Even with the all-wheel drive, you have grip instantly, pulls it along, and it's satisfying the drive. The 6-speed transmission is quick to shift. And the first thing, after that, after you notice that it's super quick, you're going to notice that this thing is really quiet. So this tester has winter tires on it. I believe they're Michelin X-Ice, and bumpy roads, smooth roads like this one, it doesn't seem to affect it. Ford's got this sound screen windshield. There's a sticker down in the bottom right-hand corner there, and it makes a difference. It's a little bit windy today, and there's basically zero or very little wind noise coming out of this thing, very little tire noise. I'm really impressed on how it drives. The one thing I'm not quite too impressed with are the seats. So they're not super comfortable, although my body's been kind of conforming to them over the last few days. That I am getting more comfortable with them. So really, sit in them before you purchase one of these. Make sure it's comfortable for you. And the seats are kind of narrow and kind of short. on the bottoms. And because of that, when you turn corners, I'm finding I'm kind of falling out of the seats. Now the side bolsters are good, and again narrow. I'm a small guy, and they're narrow. I feel the bolsters kind of hugging me. They don't stick out too much, but they're there. I feel them. So if you're bigger, they may not be comfortable for you. And like I said, I find they don't really hold me in whenever I'm turning corners aggressively, or even semi-aggressively. And this SUV is kind of fun to drive, and it has a lot of pep, and it actually handles really well, so you kind of do want to drive it that way. There you have it. And I'm parked in the same spot again. But this is the 2017 Ford Escape Titanium Edition. And it rides really well. It's super quiet. My only concern with it is the seats, really. I could live with the kind of lower rent interior. It's not top of the line for the price, but the seats kind of flat and kind of you get thrown around a bit, and they're not super comfortable. But, thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.